From the remnants of Jeddah City comes a broadcast that will shake the Empire to its core. Rogue One Radio will discuss all things Star Wars and all things in the nerd culture, in and out of the galaxy far, far away.
Hello out there, YouTube. It's Rogue One Radio. We're back. Geez, DJ, haven't seen you in about a week.
Yeah. About 7 days, I guess. I mean, we talk frequently, but yeah.
Yeah. So we're back, and tonight we're going to be talking about the new episode of The Mandalorian, The Foundling, and other stuff. Let's see, who's in the chat? Ro is in the chat with us. He was the first.
Ro is always first.
Ro was the first in the chat.
Ro is always first. Regardless, Ro is first.
That's true. Isaac is with us. Welcome, Isaac. And Dragon Buddy's with us. Good to have you back. Tina's with us. Hey, Tina. Lunar Girl, a.k.a. Kelly. F-Class Heroes is with us. Welcome to the chat. Andrew's with us from the Science Fictionary. So we got a good crew starting off, and more will come along. So we are at, where are we at? We're at episode 121.
Yes, sir.
And we got some tunes for you tonight. Hey, look, Blue's in there too.
Oh boy, it's Blue.
So Blue, if you are asking whether or not Grogu shows up in this episode of The Mandalorian.
Grogu dies in this episode. Grogu dies.
Spoilers, man.
Oh well.
So last week, we did the poll for guess which song DJ picked, and you guys got it wrong.
It was tough. It was a tough call.
So, will you guys get it right this week?
One way to find out. Let's roll that beautiful beam footage.
So, our first song comes from a band based out of, gosh dang it, where's my notes? Some bitch. Okay. First band comes from Sweden. They are called the Dahmers. And they just released an EP in February called Ghouls in the Garage. And that was released via Ghost Highway Records. And the song from that EP we're going to play for you is called Bats Need Friends Too.
Yes, they do.
Enjoy. All right. That was the Dahmers.
That has such a funky ending. I love it.
Yeah.
But do I love it enough where that was my pick for this week?
Well, we'll find out. See if you folks will. Yeah, it was a short song, Blue. But that was Bats Need Friends 2 from the Dahmers. Good stuff. So what have you been up to this week?
Oh man. Work, more work. Played Madden with the Dork Wars brothers. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. The Madden _bros on Twitch. So if you want to see some knuckleheads playing some football, go check that Twitch channel out. The Madden _bros. We have a lot of fun on there. We all suck, but that's all right. We have fun doing it. That's pretty much it. Watching some television. Had to get the Mando fix in there. Bad Batch was good. I'm actually even rewatching Rebels.
Oh, very good. Very
so
good.
I'm almost to season 2. That's what I've been doing. What are you
Rebels
been doing?
was a good show. Yeah, Rebels is good. Mando is actually the only TV I watched this week. What have I been up to? I went and saw Shazam last weekend. It was good. It was all right. But I have my issues with it, but we won't get into that.
That's for another episode.
Other than work, haven't done too much more with the office. I did put a new wooden poster with a map of Tatooine on it. So Megan, if you're there, no more posters yet, but I'm still waiting on a poster that I ordered from Amazon. And when I checked earlier today, the shipping update, it says it's still in China. So I don't know what
it's probably hanging on somebody's office walls.
Probably
what's happened to it.
New hoodie came in, so that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very fitting given our discussion.
And look at there. Earl wants out of the office. Hold that
Poor
thought.
Earl. He's like, you're interrupting my nap with all that talking. Damn it.
That's my boy. Let's see.
Boy, Earl.
Blue has a question. Should I watch Bad Batch or The Mandalorian? Which is better?
Yes.
Watch them both. Yeah. They're both good.
They're both good for different reasons.
That's true. So this morning I had a potential snafu with my coffee.
Oh, yeah. You were going to tell me about that. What happened?
Yeah. So I went and I put the coffee on and put my cup in there and hit the brew. And then I went over to the pantry and grabbed a packet of stevia, and because that's the type of sweetener I use. Yeah. And I placed it on the counter, the packet of stevia.
Right.
So then I went off and did some other stuff while I was waiting for the coffee to be done. So the coffee's done. I go over, grab the cup, take it over to the counter. I grab a packet. I open it. And just as I'm about to pour it into the coffee, I realize this is not my stevia. This is a packet of Parmesan cheese. So I stopped myself just as it was about to come out of the packet. And,
wow. Okay. Well, I mean, disaster averted.
I mean, that kind of flavoring might be worse than the orange chicken pizza.
Yeah. I can't think really of a worse flavor profile. Although orange chicken pizza, I think would actually be pretty good.
Well, that's why I say it would be worse than the orange chicken pizza.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's worse than a lot of things, really.
Yeah. So no, Blue. I did not put cheese in my coffee.
Almost put cheese.
Almost.
Yeah.
So that was almost horrifying. So let's see what else is going on. I'm not jealous. Tomorrow night we're going to be playing D&D with the Red 5 Tavern group.
Yes, we are. Yep.
So that will be lots of fun.
Yes. And, so go to the Red 5 Tavern on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch us roll some dice and
Hopefully not die.
Battle some creatures that I think Tom's DMing is going to try to kill us with. So, yeah, it's always fun.
So I got to ask, why have you not even started season 1? That's disturbing.
Hey, Scott. Scott's in chat.
Hey, there's Scott. Hey, you only missed one song, Scott. You're all right. We're about to play another one.
I thought I'm normally behind on watching things with TV because with all the kids running around and doing stuff, I normally don't have a whole lot of TV time to spare. But I'm at least caught up with Bad Batch. Priorities, man.
I am not caught up. I'm actually one episode behind.
You're nearly caught up. That counts.
I am nearly caught up. I made it a point to try to get caught up. So yeah, I'm only missing yesterday's episode.
Yeah. And you know what? In fact, that actually reminds me of a comment that I saw on Twitter that somebody had mentioned that Bad Batch was better than The Mandalorian. Now, I'm not sure who could have said such a audacious thing, but they might be right. Bad Batch is a good show.
It is a good show.
I won't call out the scuttlebutt that might have mentioned that, but
I'm not sure if I'm willing to go there.
I
mean, I do like my Mandalorian, so I'm not sure I can go there.
I mean, Bad Batch is good. It's really good this season.
And if you want to be really technical, the Bad Batch folks are kind of Mandalorians.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
But, hey, as they say, that's the scuttlebutt.
Yeah. He says that here's the same thing.
Yeah. See, it's not just me.
Yeah. All righty. We ready for another song?
Yeah, let's
Who's
do
ready
it.
for another song?
Let's do it.
Okay. So this next song comes from a band based out of South Wales. They are called Chroma. They have an album that is, hey, Megan, how's it going?
Hey, Megan.
They have an album that is, as far as I know, untitled and will be released later this year via Alcapop Records. But the song, this will be the first single off an album that we don't even know the name of. So this is the first single from the untitled album by Chroma, and the song is called Don't Mind Me.
They call it an epidemic, like a rearview mirror depression. 22, an alcoholic, no desire, no
Don't mind me. I'm just having a breakdown. That was Chroma.
There we go.
Good
Yes.
stuff.
So the very beginning of that song really had me at like a Led Zeppelin vibe. I can't think of the name of the song now. It's right there. It was also in School of Rock and Shrek. I can't sing it, but anyway, I'll think of it later.
So while we were playing that song, Patrick came into the chat. So hello,
Awesome.
Patrick. And
Hey, Patrick.
the somebody from the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, it's either Denise or Crystal.
Awesome. It's always good to see the sisterhood.
It's good to have them in the chat. I haven't seen them in a while. Denise was on a show with us sometime last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So yeah, that was Chroma with Don't Mind Me.
So I liked it, and everybody knows that I'm a sucker for female singers, but was I a sucker enough for it that was my pick for this week?
Yeah, I don't know. So it just dawned on me while I was going through the show notes. So we completely skipped a bunch of stuff.
That's right. We're getting to it right now.
We're going to do it right now. First, I would like to thank all of our patrons that help us keep the lights on and the internet running and all that good stuff.
Yes.
Dave, Kelly, Chris, Don, Nicholas, Scott, Kim, Amanda, Mandy, Justin, and Denise, who may or may not be in the chat with us.
Note it is not. Denise is taking her kids to Ninja Warrior class.
So that must be Crystal. Hey, Crystal. So yeah, thank you all for being our patrons, and we really appreciate the support. And if you are not a patron already, now is a great time to get on board, because we started doing some more exclusive content for our patrons. Specifically, we have a new patron only series called Comic Cuts, where we talk about a specific comic book. We've had 2 episodes out so far, and it's been a lot of fun, and we've got more coming. But the link right there, if you want to become a patron of ours, just go to patreon.com/Rogue One Radio. And that will also be in the show notes. And you can be a patron for as little as $1 a month.
Yes.
If you're watching us on YouTube, what do they need to do?
If they're watching us on YouTube, what they need to do is subscribe. They also need to like, and of course, comment and let us know that you're enjoying what you're enjoying here, because we know you're enjoying it. So yes, you found us here. Like, subscribe, comment, come in the chat. We're a boisterous bunch, but we have fun.
We certainly do. We certainly do. You can also find us on other social media by going to bio.link/Rogue One Radio, and you can see it scrolling right there. And you can hang out with us and chat anytime. Well, no, not anytime you want. I mean, sometimes we sleep, but
sleep's for the birds. We're normally online somewhere.
Sleep is for the weak. But on top of that, we are also part of the Red 5 network.
Yes, we are.
Is a podcast network of many great podcasts, and you can find a link to all of those podcasts at bio.link/Red5. And Lou wants to know, when are we recording our episode? When we get around to it. I've got like 3 on the schedule that I need to
Yeah. There's quite a few that we need to get to. And we're getting to them. In fact, we already have some up. So if you want goodness, get on Patreon and you can get access to it. It's really cool.
Hey, Nicholas just jumped in the chat.
Hey, Nicholas.
There we go. Good stuff. See, I told you this place is starting to fill up.
It's coming alive, baby. I love it.
Good stuff. So it is now time for that portion of the show where we recommend to you something we have read, watched, played, whatever. So that's Rogue One Radio's picks.
Yes.
You want to go first?
I'll do one. So my first pick, I have two. My first pick is a YouTube channel. They're just starting out. They're getting back into the swing of things. They've tried a few different types of things to try to find their niche, and they finally found it, I believe. And that is, and they're here in the chat, and that is F-Class Heroes. So they have a YouTube. They're also, I believe, on Spotify as well. I've known these guys for a while. Really good guys, really knowledgeable about lots of pop culture things, and definitely about wrestling. These guys have a passion for wrestling, and I'm not just talking about the big name wrestling that you see on TV. They're well versed in lots of indie wrestling. They have amazing interviews. They talk about games. It's everything. So if you're a fan of wrestling, if you're a fan of games, if you're a fan of pop culture, go check out F-Class Heroes. It's F-Class Heroes on YouTube. You won't be disappointed. I know they have a lot of cool stuff that's coming up here in the near future. They're trying to get some more wrestlers onto their podcast to interview. Man, it's going to be amazing. So that is my first pick. So do you want me to do my next one, or do you want to alternate?
We can alternate.
All right, go ahead.
So both of my picks are comic books, but my first comic book that I want to recommend is it's a new I don't know if this is a limited series or an ongoing series. In any case, it's called Joe Fixit. It is written by Peter David, and it is the Hulk as Joe Fixit, and they're about the third issue just came out yesterday, and it is a really great series. If you ever read any Hulk like back in the 90s,
yeah.
Or I don't remember when Peter David started writing that run, but he wrote the Incredible Hulk for a really long time. And he's probably my favorite Hulk writer of all time. So he came back to do this series. Again, I don't know if it's an ongoing series or if it's just a limited series, but it's called Joe Fixit, and it is great. Again, I got to ask, why do you want to ban blue? I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know, but leave it to Dragon Buddy to always make me smile, I tell you.
No, it's not a sequel, Dragon Buddy.
Oh, that would be amazing if it was, though. We need to do that. Joe Fixit and Joe Mama.
All right, what's your next pick?
So my next pick is another YouTube channel, and most of our listeners and chat people know about this podcast as well. And I'm going to shout this one out because I'm actually going to be a guest on this podcast on Sunday. And that is Comics and Cosmetics with our good friend Danny.
Okay, yeah.
So she was once a member of the Red 5 Network, but she has spread her wings and she is flying. She's doing so well with her interviews, and her show is really taking off. And thankfully, she still allows me to show up as a guest. This Sunday, we're going to be talking about who did it better, Marvel versus DC. And we're going to take some of the characters that one or the other created, and then one or the other ripped off completely. And we'll discuss on which side actually did it better. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's always a good time when we're all together on comics and cosmetics. So go check that one out as well. And yep, there's the link there in the chat. You can go sub to her.
There we go.
Like all of her stuff. And yeah, she's a really cool person. Very knowledgeable when it comes to comics. Very knowledgeable when it comes to cosmetics. So yeah, a lot of fun. There's my second one.
Very good. Very good.
Ubaldo! Yeah. See, now the party started.
Oh, and we have, in addition to Ubaldo, we have Miriam Skywalker
Miriam's here
with us.
Hey, Miriam.
How are you doing tonight? Good to have you folks in here with us talking some Mandalorian tonight. Okay, my next pick, like I said, is another comic book. And hey, speak of the devil, there's Danny right there.
Danny, I just shouted you out.
There we go. So my second, okay, so leading up to this, okay, so, well, let me just show you to it. This is issue number 1 of a book called I Hate Fairyland. Now, it's written by a guy named Scotty Young, and he had a series a while back called I Hate Fairyland, and then the series ended. And then quite recently, because they're only like, I think 5 issues in now. Yeah, I think they're like 5 issues in. So he restarted it, and it takes place right where the original series left off. And I was in the comic book shop yesterday, and I saw that I saw the new issue, and I was like, oh wow, they started that up again. And then I dug through their books and found issue number 1 and took it home and read it yesterday, and it's a lot of fun. I really like it. I think you folks will like it too. It's a lot of it's crazy. It's fun stuff.
I like that art style, at least the style that's on the cover.
Yeah,
it's always cool to see different types of things. Which you know, we kind of talked about this with Spencer when we were talking about Batman and Son. They have a little interlude where the comic or the art direction takes a left turn at Albuquerque, and it's like, what in the world is this? But it was really cool to see it come about. So, all right. So yeah, awesome. That's our pick. So,
yes. Nope, that's all I have. So that was our picks for this week, and we'll be back next week talking about more recommendations. But the links to all of that will be in the show notes. And Kelly just, I'm not sure how I feel about this comment. DJ and Steve are my masters. That seems a little. I'm not really sure how to respond to that.
Respond however you want, Steve.
So DB, are you okay with that? So let's see. Anybody else? Tina was already in here, so I'm just checking to see if there's anybody new. And Miriam, Miriam was in here. Yep.
Yep.
And
We've got everybody so far.
I believe this
Everyone's
is
on
the
board.
first time Miriam has been in the chat. So welcome
Yeah.
to the Rogue One Radio chat and the show. And so we do have one more song to play for you before we jump into our talk about Mando. This one, get yourselves ready for this one.
Here we go.
This is from a band called Venomous Concept. Oh, you know what? I'm going to feel really stupid. Is that the right name?
I think so.
I believe it is. Yeah. Venomous Concept. And they put out an album in February called The Good Ship Lollipop. Interesting title for an album. That was put out in February via Graphite Records. And if you go and listen to this whole record, there is a lot of different stuff going on with this band. But I want to give you a taste of let me tell you just real quick about this band. So they're from the United States. I don't know what city or state necessarily, because I think they come from different parts of the country. But they are a hardcore punk band, and they were formed by two guys that used to be in a couple of bands. One of the bands is called Brutal Truth. The other one you may have heard of is Napalm Death. So I'm going to play this song from Venomous Concept from The Good Ship Lollipop, and the name of the song is Fractured. So enjoy.
As if the
All right, that was Fractured by Venomous Concept.
I thought there was one more little beat after that.
Yeah, it kind of did seem like that. So I want to say whether you liked that song or not, don't take that one song from Venomous Concept to define them, because
They're so eclectic.
that album it's like from here to there. There's like, if I play one more song, it would be completely different from that, and I just happened to pick that one.
That was a good song.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Was it good enough for you to be your pick, though?
Yeah, and so for those that might not know, we have certain guidelines that we have to go through in order to play songs on here. I have to get permissions from the bands and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So Steve gives me a list of songs, and I have to choose one. So when he says, hey, I played that, or I picked this song, yeah, we talk through and discuss. So just saying that so people don't get confused, he picks a bunch of songs for us to go through. Out of that list, I pick one. So yeah, so there's no.
Yeah. So if anybody is interested in knowing, just for shits and giggles, how these songs get picked, I guess, how this list comes about. So in addition to this whole podcasting thing, I'm also a freelance writer for various, well, now I'm only writing for one music publication. So I get a lot of stuff sent to me from record labels and from PR companies, and sometimes from bands themselves. So things will come to me and I'll give them a listen, and I would say about 85 to 90% of the stuff I'll listen to and I'll go, nope, not interested. And then there's that little sliver of stuff that gets sent to me. I'm like, I want to play this on the show. So I will respond to the email they send me with, hey, I want to play this on the show, just making sure I've got permission. And I've never been turned down. So,
Yeah.
So that's how we come up with the music that's on here. And that's how I find out about a lot of really cool music. Yeah, nice shirt.
Sorry, it's also pantsless podcasting. So I just wanted to make sure that waist up here.
Oh, so I shouldn't stand up. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So we have got a ton of more cool music coming in the next few weeks, because the list I have is just crazy long. It's crazy. So much.
And you're that it's a fan that's I was already a big fan of Napalm Death anyway, but
yeah.
When you showed me that song, I had to go and listen to a lot of those. And I was blown away by a number of those.
Yeah.
And they're each different.
Yeah,
So,
it is such a great album. It is probably, well, I can guarantee you that it is going to be on my end of year list this year. Just how high on that list it will be, I don't know, but it's going to be on there because it's a great album. You are right. You're right. Where'd it go?
chat scrolling by so fast.
There it is. Yeah, Kelly says that I never wear pants to work, and she's right. I don't.
Unfortunately, I have to. So
yeah. Well, you leave the house to go to work, so
technically, if I'm out on the pipeline, who cares? There's not like there's going to be anybody else around me for 50 or 60 miles. So, but should something happen and need to hightail it or some sort of protection, I definitely need pants. So
hey, the F class heroes are pantless as well.
See, all right. Pantsless editing. Gotta love it.
All right. And DB, of course, doesn't say no to pants.
Yes.
This is the way.
This is,
Yeah.
speaking
all right.
of this is the way.
Couldn't wait to clear the guys out of my office in the morning. Hey, yeah, there you go. Yeah. So speaking of this is the way, we had another episode of The Mandalorian hit us yesterday,
We did.
and it was called The Foundling.
Yes. Yep.
Why don't you hit us with one of those beautiful bean footage synopsis?
Sure, absolutely. All right. So for this episode, episode 20, it was written by Dave Filoni and Pete. What's his name? The other guy. Help me out here.
Jon Favreau.
Jon Favreau. Sorry, I was. My wife and I were watching reruns of Friends on last night, and Jon Favreau was on there. And I was like, "Oh, look, it's the guy that made The Mandalorian." She's like, "Where?" I'm like, "That guy." No way, really? She's like, he was happy in Iron Man. I'm like, yeah, same guy. She's like, no way. Anyway, so yeah, that his actual name got Jon Favreau was a blank, and it was just Pete in my head. So I'm like, oh man, all right. So yes, so these two come together again to give us an episode. It was directed by Carl Weathers. A lot of people saw that on Twitter where he came out and said, hope you enjoy it. And, hey, we're going to talk about that right now. So it opens up with the Mandalorians. Probably there soon after the ending of episode 3. And they are doing training classes, doing some wrestling around. Some field testing of armaments, not entirely sure why, throwing things into the water, I guess, to aggravate the alligators. Mando says, you know what, Grogu needs to get in on this training too, and sets him loose. And, much to everybody's surprise, he actually does well. And then we have this large pterodactyl type thing comes in and swoops down and gets one of the younger children of the Watch. And they go off to try to rescue said young one, the armor, because of Grogu's prowess in training and how far he's come. Says that, you know what, you need some more armor. She starts banging away on some Beskar, which causes him to have some PTSD or a flashback sequence. And then we get this very, very cool flashback sequence of back to Order 66. And as it progresses forward, he snaps out of the flashback. He's been given and I can't remember, a rondel, I believe is what they called it. She puts it on his chest, and it's about the size of his whole dang body. Then we go back to where Mando, Bo, and what's his name? Paz, I believe it is, are going to go try to rescue the young one. They make it to the pterodactyl nest and have this big fight. Rescue the kid, come back, and because they saved the day. There's all sorts of cheering. Bo's missing a piece of her armor, so she goes for the armor, and she asks for a particular design, and the armorer says yes, of course. And then Bo kind of asks her a question. What would you say if I saw this? And pretty much to no reaction from the armorer. That was the episode.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. So, overall thoughts of the episode.
Conflicted.
Okay.
I liked what I saw. It just felt a little disjointed.
Okay.
I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
Maybe a 7.
Okay. So I would have to agree. It was a little disjointed, and I'm conflicted as well. There were some really high points to it, and then some other like kind of mediocre points. But I am actually going to give it a 7 as well. And I would have said 6, but something about the episode that we will mention, absolutely will mention, bumps it up to a 7.
And I was the same way. I was at like a 5 to a 6 when I first watched it. I watched it again and really enjoyed the parts.
Yeah.
As parts, but when you put it all together, it kind of bumps it down. So I bumped it up to a 6 to a 7.
Okay. That's good. So
where do you want to start?
I gotta say, as far as the likes go, I think we're probably going to be of the same mind on this in regards to the flashback scene. The flashback scene was absolutely amazing. I loved that we got to see more footage of the Jedi Temple during the Order 66, and that we got to see more Jedi, and we got to see more of Grogu's history. And then we finally get to see who actually saves Grogu.
It's not who I thought it was going to be.
No, but I think you're in the same mind about this particular character / actor. So I'm going to let you finish the thought.
All right. So when I saw this, I kind of knew what we were going to get. We're going to see who actually saves Grogu. And at first I thought, are they going to tie it in and have, and I can't remember what her name was, that was in Obi-Wan. I was like, are they going to put her in to show that she was the one that saved him? Because it kind of hinted at it a little bit.
Okay.
She was there at the same time and all this was going on. I thought, all right, well, here's the tie-in. And they didn't do it.
That would have been interesting, yeah.
Yes, Riva. And they didn't do it. Instead, what we got was something much better.
Yeah.
Much more satisfying to me. We see a new Jedi. And I had his name, but I accidentally closed out of my notes, so I don't have his name right now.
It is
Beck was the last name, Beq, I believe.
Kelleran Beck.
Yes. And does a great job of getting Grogu.
He kicks some ass.
Yeah. Wielding 2 lightsabers just was a force to be reckoned with. And so he gets him to a Naboo fighter that's there. There's Naboo guard that are about, and he gets Grogu on board, and they take off. Now, the cool part about that is who is actually playing this Kelleran Beck.
Yes.
And it's none other than Ahmed Best.
Yeah. Total redemption. He got so much flack.
Yes.
For playing Jar Jar in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah. I was going to say, for those that don't know, he was the actor who played Jar Jar Binks in the prequel trilogy, and got so much shit for it that
Yeah.
it wasn't even funny or fair. I always hated that people bagged on him so bad for it when
Yeah.
he gave the performance that Lucas wanted. That's exactly what George wanted. That's what he got.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Like or don't like the character, he did a really good job playing that character.
He did.
But it was so good to see him in another role in Star Wars that, like I said, I think redeems and maybe is a it's kind of against the naysayers. It kind of shuts them up.
Yeah. It was funny. My kids are like, "Dad, that's the guy off of the Jedi game show."
Yeah. I remember that game show.
Yeah.
And
so I was like, "Oh man, that's so cool that they even remembered that." So
yeah. So when he popped up, I was like, "What? Oh my gosh! I can't believe they brought him into the show. That's so great."
Yeah.
So it was great, but that entire sequence was just so great. The lightsaber, like you said, the dual wielding lightsaber against the clones, man, he was kicking some butt. And so we talked a little bit about this before we went live, but where do you think he's going, and whose ship do you think that is?
So I had a wild theory on that. It's a Naboo fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and the Naboo guard are there. So my first thought was, wait, hold on, let me go back and check. All right, so this is Order 66. So Padme is still alive.
Right.
So I'm like, did she have something to do with this? And that got my headcanon all messed up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, ooh, could that have been? I really don't know. It wasn't her starship. It wasn't the regular leisure cruiser from Naboo that she drove around in. It was a Naboo freighter. It's the Millennium Falcon of Naboo places, of starships. So, so I really don't know. Was it Padme? Was it was it Shadow, Queen Shadow?
Yeah.
And I can't remember her name either. I'm
bad.
Sabe, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm like, they're. I'm like, but who? And are we going to get an answer on this or not? So watch it have been Hera, just flying down in a freighter. But
it'll be interesting to see if they continue this and give us the rest of the story at some point.
Yeah. They're going to have to come full circle. I think there'll be another flashback, and they'll say, "Oh, you have to hide here," and it's that building that Mando found him in.
Yeah.
Originally. So yeah.
So then you think he was there for like 25 years?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just thinking that there'll be a flashback to it where someone is like, all right, hey, they keep dogging his steps, and you'll see bits and pieces. So, we have to move him, blah, 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 or whatever. But I think it'll come full circle.
Interesting. So anything else about the episode that you particularly liked?
Well, I mean, excuse me. And like I said, it wasn't bad. But for me, that was that was it. That was the flashback is what made the episode what it was. I had issues with the rest of it, and we'll talk about that when we talk about our issues.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to talk about issues. There was another part of the show that I liked, and it was very specific. It was the fight between Grogu and the Mandalorian kid.
Mm-hmm.
It was amusing. I enjoyed it.
A lot of people had issue with it,
Huh.
but
I wonder why.
I'm not sure. I mean, that's exactly the way that Yoda fought. So, what were you expecting? I mean, we've already seen him jump several times already, so it's not like that was a surprise. So, you know, it's just
Chantel.
Always excuses with her. You know,
I tell you what, man, you missed all
after
the
dark people. You
missed all the music.
I'm telling you, good music.
You missed us talking about Ahmed best. Well, welcome to the chat anyway, Shanty.
Yes. Thanks
Always
for
good
showing
to
up.
have you.
Yeah.
So
I didn't have an issue with it. It's That was it was an okay moment. It wasn't a really good moment, and it wasn't a bad moment. It was just a moment.
So yeah, I like that. And then I kind of liked, I thought it was funny when toward the end, when Bo-Katan is getting her new armor and she's talking to the armor, and it almost seemed to me like the armor was like, like almost condescending, like, you saw a mythosaur, okay, So it just kind of gave me that, it just felt really, it was just a really funny interaction, I thought.
Right.
And it's like, no, really, it almost felt like Bo-Katan was like, no, it was real, I saw it.
Yeah. Are you sure you didn't hit your head?
Yeah, like she knew it was condescending, but it was like, no, really, I saw a mythosaur, damn it.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny. Which I guess brings us into issues. You want to go ahead and start?
Well, first issue that I had was the training was dumber than a box of rocks. It really was. I didn't understand it. It reminded me of kids like play wrestling.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about like backyard type wrestling where people actually are training to wrestle, but just goofing around, having a scrum, and tackle the guy with the football, kind of backyard style play. Yes, Mandalorian Recess, good call. It just, and then they're throwing rockets and grenades into the lake where they've already had alligators that have come up to try to eat them.
Yeah.
So let's see, how are we going to? Well, maybe if we splash around a little bit in the water, they'll think that's something big and they won't show up again. It just seemed really weird. I did like the trial. I didn't think that Grogu was going to actually succeed. yeah, I thought he'd probably get a lick or two in, but you just never know. So it was an okay moment. It wasn't a bad one or or a really good one. I wasn't a big fan of the pterodactyl scene. I don't know.
So Ro in the chat made a very interesting point that I had thought of toward while it was going on. It was like, so my son was captured by a flying reptile. Let's make camp, have a snack, and let's go get him in the morning.
Yeah.
What? Well, I did not understand that. I'm like, why are they not?
Yeah. Yeah. It just, I mean, like I said, the flashback made the show. If you were just to take out the flashback part and just have that as the episode, even though it'd be an incredibly short
episode, yeah.
I mean, people would have been like, what the hell is this? Why are we watching this? It just really, What
were your thoughts on the armor scene with Grogu?
I didn't mind it. You got a little bit more of the lore. Here's why we have the armor. This is what we do the way that we do. If you want to pass on to the next stage, and at every stage you get a piece of armor. I like that. I didn't mind that. I almost expected him to walk out of there with a helmet, but I guess, which doesn't make sense because you had that other kid in the very first episode. He doesn't have any armor on whatsoever, and the first thing he gets is a helmet. Grogu's already got one piece of armor. He's got the chain. He's got the mail.
Yeah.
Thing, and so we're just going to add to it. We're not going to give you a helmet. We're going to.
Well, here, okay, I agree with that, but I think there's a reason for that. The kid was able to take the creed.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas Grogu cannot because the little pointy-eared bastard can't talk yet.
Yeah. That very well may be the reason why he doesn't have a helmet is because he can't take the creed.
Bye, Megan. Megan's leaving. She's got to go.
All right. Bye, Megan. So, it was okay. Although, if you're going to give Grogu a piece of armor, why make it the size of his body? He's not going to get much bigger. He'll get a little bit bigger, but still, make him some Beskar underwear or something. I didn't quite get. He needs to have a little suit of his own with the, with the pauldrons and, and the chest piece, and make him one of those. Don't give him something. Don't give him a Beskar size frisbee that he's going to just attach to his mail shirt and walk around.
Yeah.
I guess if things get rough, he can just duck behind it. But, it didn't really make sense. And then the other part that really didn't make sense to me was the ending. When Bo's telling the armorer, hey, I saw this, and and the armorer's like, yeah, sure you did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And either the armorer thinks she's dumb and she's making it up, or the armorer already knows.
Yeah.
Which I would not be surprised if the armorer has already been to Mandalore and been down to get the living waters for her forging. It wouldn't put it past. I could see that part where the armorer already knows, knows the score, knows that yeah, there are some mythosaurs down there. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was odd, especially after her, questioning Din. Hey, what'd you see? Are you sure you didn't see anything at all? Nothing. You didn't see a giant mythosaur down there. I mean, she didn't say that, but kept asking him, hey, what did you see? Oh, I didn't see anything. Oh, okay. And then she goes and runs and blabs her mouth to the armorer. Oh, what'd you see? Oh, I saw this down there. It really just didn't fit. So,
yeah. So I've got a comment, and I'm going to preface it by make sure you understand that I do like this season. I like the season where I've liked every episode. Is as in its each episode has its own really great parts and then some mediocre parts, but overall the season has been really good. However, does it seem to you that the plot itself is kind of inconsistent? Like there's actually no discernible plot yet.
It seems like they have ideas written down on pieces of paper, and it's in a basket. And they're reaching in and pulling it out. All right, we're going to do this one now, and setting it aside. And they do it. They do the episode. And then they reach into this bag of ideas that they have. All right, this week we're going to do this one. No, don't worry about tying it in. We'll figure that out. We'll tie it in later. We'll figure that out, afterwards. And it just, individually they have some ideas, but I don't think they've really thought it through as.
See, and that's very odd to me because they're all written by the same person.
Yeah.
So you can't really blame the directors because they're not the ones that came up with the episode.
I almost think that they're relying too heavy on the surprises, because every episode we get a new surprise. And so I'm wondering if they're relying on the surprise reveal to carry the show and to kind of cloud over the overall episode direction.
So this is chapter 20. We have 4 episodes left.
Yeah.
So I really hope that, for lack of a better way to put this, I hope they get to the point.
I'm worried that they're not going to.
Because season 1 had a plot that was very distinguishable.
Yes.
Season 2 mostly had a plot that was made sense. And you could follow this one. It's like you said, it's just kind of jumping around.
So all right. So to expand on
it is telling a story, but is the story suffering from a lack of direction, or is it suffering from something else?
Right. All right. So to expand on that, season 1 was about finding the asset. And then once he finds the asset, what's he going to do with it? So he finds the asset, realizes, hey, this is a force-sensitive being. I need to return it to some of its kind, which is what we get at the very end. That's his direction. All right. I found the asset. I've got to keep it safe. I'm going to return it to some of his kind. Great. Season 2, he's searching for some of his kind. And we get that where he gets to Ahsoka, and she's like, yep, not me, I'm out. And then takes it and goes to this rock, and that activates the beacon, and there at the end, we get Luke Skywalker. More of his kind. Great. Then we segue into Book of Boba, and then he shows up there, and it's like, why is he here? What's he doing? All right, so now he's an apostate, so now he has to make up for that. Okay, fine. But then at the end of it, Grogu comes back. Okay, so now where's season 3 going? And then at season 3, you're like, what's he going to do? All right, so I figured this whole thing was going to be, this whole season was going to be him getting to be redeemed. Finally getting to Mandalore, and then him bathing in the waters, and finally becoming a full Mandalorian again after being an apostate. But no, we got that in episode 3.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, then that's where I started thinking of this idea of, are they just pulling out story ideas from this hat? All right, here's the chapters that we have, folks. We're not sure which order we're going to put them in yet. Let's do this one. And then, it just, I don't know. I really don't know. It almost makes my head hurt because it's such a good series, or has potential to be such a good series. And it's been, except for 2.5, and we've had great episodes. Out of the 4, the second one I really enjoyed. The first one I thought was a little lost. The third one, I liked part of it, just like the flashback. I enjoyed the interlude that we got. It made it feel more like it was Andor. It was more story-driven and character-driven, and the writing was really good. But there's things that are on the beginning and the end that just didn't quite make sense. And you had this little sandwich part. Same thing with this episode. Beginning was shaky, had a flashback that was really, really cool, end was very shaky. Now where do we go? So, I mean, yeah, it's just, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, what is the season about? Where's it going?
Yeah, I wish I knew. When I first thought of it, and I figured we're going to have tie-in after tie-in after tie-in to other shows to really make sense of this. But yeah, I'm lost. I really don't.
Well, here's an interesting comment in the chat from Roe. He says, I think we are also forgetting that the series was billed as an adventure of the week.
Was it?
And then he said fans seem to want more connective tissue. I can agree with that. I think the season and the show in and of itself should be connected.
I mean, and I don't mind. I don't mind an adventure of the week.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with my recent Rebels rewatch,
mm-hmm.
It has a start and it has a beginning. Each episode can be separate. All right, here's this episode. All right, now we're going to move on to do this. Oh, we're going to reference what we just did, for the last couple of episodes, but that's not really the main point. We're just going to mention it just to let you know how we got to this point. and each one has an opening, and it has a climax, and it has the ending, the resolution.
Mm-hmm.
Each one, and that's fine. This one doesn't seem to really be doing that. You have episode 3, so they wake up, and it's a continuation of the last of episode 2. So it's not a brand new opening where they soar off into space, and then here's the next week, and they're in space. Oh, here's the adventure we have for this week, and then they go, resolve, fly back off into space or do whatever. Here starts the next one. They want it to be connected. It might have been billed as an adventure of the week, but they're not writing it that way. It's connected where, we might have a couple of years in between episodes here, or seasons or whatever, for those that are hip to the time jump. But it's when you end one episode and you had the big reveal of the mythosaur, and it just stops there. And then you wake up the next week, they wake up, they're resting. That's the continuation of that same episode. All right, well, now we have to go here and we have to do this. And it's just, it's choppy. It's like it's segmented wrong. So I don't know. Maybe if they would have held off or like ended it at the end of the reveal after Grogu flies off. Then the next week you start, and it's like they wake up, they're at the base camp of the mountain they have to secretly climb up, and then you have that part of the adventure. I don't know. It just, yeah.
So, okay. Again, don't get me wrong. I really like this season. I really like the show.
Yeah.
But I think we would be remiss in letting this slide.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great show, great season, a lot of really cool stuff. I just wish, like Ro put it, there was a little bit more connective tissue, and that we had a more discernible overall plot.
Yeah. And I don't care about the connective tissue if that's the way they want to do it.
Yeah.
But or if they want an adventure of the week, great, not a problem. We would love that, but be consistent.
Yeah, that would be fine. Like an anthology series would be great, but that's not how it started out. If they're going to do it that way, then do it that way. But you know what I mean? I mean, just pick one.
Yeah. Yeah. We probably need to email Lucasfilm and a whole big box of Snickers and tell them to get their crap together.
Yeah. But in any case, I mean, I don't want to sound like we're being negative.
I am a little bit, but that's fine. I enjoy what we're getting. I just think it could be better.
Yeah, it could be better. But yeah, let me rephrase. I don't want to be overly negative about the show.
Yeah, no, not overly negative. And there's a fine line between negative and having a few critiques about it. And,
for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm not bagging on the show in any sense. It's
right.
I do have some issues. So
right. I just want anybody who's watching this for the first time or listening to it understand that, yeah, we're going to have some criticisms, but by no way are we bagging on the show. And
Yeah. Oh man, this is a crap fest. Why are we even talking about this? Rah!
yeah, if you want that, there's another YouTube channel you can go to.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
If that's your thing, then yeah, you just go ahead and do that.
How to crap all over everything in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, Dragon Buddy. So where'd it go? Gosh dang it.
Uh-oh.
It's going by too fast on me again. Okay. Yeah, he said rewatching Rebels and Clone Wars gives you a bunch of connections with Mandalore and Mandalorians in general, which are playing out on screen, at least in part.
True.
I completely agree, and that is one of the things that I really love about the season. Is I am a fan of the Mandalorians in general. So
Get her on the phone, Ro. We're gonna hash this out. Ro's gonna call Kathleen Kennedy.
okay. So yeah, I'm really enjoying the season. A lot of it has to do because of that we're getting a lot of Mandalorian lore. And Dragon Buddy said Stephen JJ will give criticism, but with open discussion and no hate. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are Star Wars fans that actually don't hate Star Wars. Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. F-Class Hero says he understands that they have to do it all the time in wrestling.
Yeah.
And very true.
I get it. So
Yeah.
F Class, I've got to ask just your own personal opinion. What is your favorite federation? I ask when I did watch wrestling, and I watched it quite a bit. I even had a professional wrestling podcast called Around the Ring a while back. But my favorite at the time, I don't really watch wrestling anymore, and I got bored of it, I guess would be the easiest way to say it. My favorite at the time was AEW. I've been to a lot of AEW events, and I basically kind of stopped watching all of wrestling altogether after last year's All Out event. And it wasn't anything that had to do with that event. It was just at that time, I kind of just wasn't feeling it anymore. So yeah.
Well, don't get F-Class Heroes started on wrestlers. Otherwise, you're not going to get.
Okay.
him,
We'll take that offline. Follow me on Twitter if you want to do that, and we can talk wrestling. Because I'll still talk wrestling. I just don't watch it.
He answered you. But yeah, if you get him started on wrestlers, he won't stop extolling the virtues of Carmelo Hayes.
I know what Noah is, F-Class. Out of the Japanese, I kind of lean towards New Japan myself, though. But anyway, yes, the whole point we're getting is that we can love something and criticize it at the same time. And I think, do we have anything else to say about this episode?
Bring on the last four, because hopefully it can only get better from here, I guess.
Yeah. So that, I guess that is the end of our talk today. And we will be back next week with more cool tunes and some more talk about Mandalorian.
We'll see what we get. We'll see which show topic they pull out of the hat for this week.
Yeah, and we'll see how lively the chat gets again. Because it's been pretty busy today. I haven't been able to keep up with it.
Yeah, which is a good thing. Good thing to have.
Yeah, I like when the chat gets to going that quickly, and they get into their own little side conversations. And every so often, I get to figure out or find out what they're talking about. And sometimes Dragon Buddy will say something that just breaks us.
Yes. Yes.
Like we can't talk anymore because Dragon's Betty has said something that just messes with us. Anyway, so next week. Let's not forget. We have another show coming up after us.
Yes.
WSTR Media
Mhm.
will be on after us, and they are going to be continuing their Star Wars creature feature series and discussing the creatures of the Rise of Skywalker. So make sure that you folks check out WSDR Media after us. And then we will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel. Talk some more Mando.
Yes.
Thanks to everybody in the chat that hung out with us tonight. And thanks for everybody watching and everybody out there who is listening to the audio. If you're listening on the Apple Podcasts, please make sure you leave a review. And here's the link where you can go see that show coming on after us. That is youtube.com/@WSTR Media. That is it. You want to close us out, DJ?
Leroy Jenkins.
All right. There you have it. May the force be with you.